Hello, hello, hello. My name's Cameron Lopez, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about why you should listen to that little voice in your head. That little voice in your head is your conscience, and I believe your conscience is a connection to God. That little voice that tells you, oh, you shouldn't do that, or oh, you should do that. Should we hit this? Should we drink this? That little thought in your head is your conscience. You always want to trust your conscience, or as some people say, trust your instinct. The reason why you say that is because it makes the right decision. The way my dad explained it is you will know the difference of your conscience and a negative thought or just a regular thought. There's something I know I should be doing in my life. There's something I know I should be doing in this world, but I'm kind of just avoiding it. But there's always that little thing, that little thought that goes in the back of my head thinking, you know you should do it already, right? Or you should have done it already. Or instead of playing this video game, you know you should be cleaning up around the house or helping your mom or dad with something, you know? Or instead of playing this game, you know you should be in bed already. That little voice in your head is what I'm talking about. I ignored it for many years, many years, and I would even silence it. I fell down the rabbit hole of cannabis, and it was very evil, but also very fun. Occasionally I'll dabble with it once in a blue moon. But anyways, I would use it almost every day to mute that little voice in my head, to kind of get rid of it, to kind of just feel at peace. It was an instant gratification I would do. I wouldn't want to hear those voices telling me, hey, you know, you should be going to work, or you should be picking up this shift, or you should be going to the gym and working hard. Fuck that. At one point I was just completely ignoring it. I'd rip my little pen and boom, I'm all better. And by all better, I mean I don't have that voice that I should have been listening to in my head telling me what to do. Now in my head, I have no thoughts. I'm chilling. At the moment, I thought that was awesome. I'm like, wow, like I'm at peace. This is relaxful. It calms me down. No, it just numbs you from what you're really supposed to do and what you're really supposed to feel. That fucked me up for a while. I kept doing it. I kept numbing it. I kept finding distractions. That hurt me in the long run. I became very undisciplined. I wasn't chasing my dreams. I stopped doing what I love. And I would always blame it on other things rather than myself. I would always wonder, why are things not going my way? Why does my life suck? I'm doing everything right, but how come it still feels shitty? I would ask that question a lot to myself, and I'm not too sure if you guys would ask that question to yourself either. But the reason why it's going shitty, oh, I'm working out, or I'm reading, or I'm doing this, but my life still feels shit. I still feel negative. I still feel sad. I have random waves of anxiety and depression. It's probably because you're not doing that one thing you should be doing. I have been needing to go to the dentist. I've pushed it off for a long time just because I knew they usually find something. I'm like, fuck, like, okay, they're going to find a cavity, or they're going to have to give me a shot, and I hate those shots. And in the back of my head, every day, I would tell myself, Cam, you need to go. And I'd brush it off more, I'd brush it off more, brush it off for longer, then I'd forget about it, and then it'd come in the back of my head again, and then I'd kind of roll my eyes, and I'd be like, fuck, like, there it is again. For days, on months, I would push it off. But it would only ruin my mental health more. It would only ruin my anxiety more. The fear of them finding something, the chances increased. If I would have went already maybe a year ago, I wouldn't have had that one cavity. I ignored that voice for too long, and I suffered the consequence. And that consequence was a very nasty dentist visit. I can assure you enough, that is a consequence for not listening to your conscience. You should have been brushing your teeth. You should have listened to your conscience when it said go to the dentist immediately. There's an example I can give you of what I learned. There are a lot of distractions now that can prevent you from making the right decision. It can be a distraction as simple as a video game. It can be a distraction such as scrolling on TikTok for too long, doom scrolling as they call it, smoking, instant gratification, you name it. There's a bunch of things to distract you from the things you should be doing. If you're not reaching your full potential, if you're wondering why you're not reaching your full potential, or your dreams aren't forming yet, it's because you're still doing those negative things. You're still doing those bad habits. And once I got rid of those, I've seen a big change in my life, and a big change that I hopefully can prove to you guys. But I've lost 15 pounds in under 2 weeks. I have not done that in years. I have not been this healthy. I have not been this active. I have not been this happy in so long, and I'm extremely proud of myself. I started listening to my conscience, and the relationship with my family got stronger. I have never been this close with my dad, mom, or sister just because I did a simple switch listening to that little tiny voice in my head. Another positive thing is I'm even happier than I've ever been. Like I just said, I've lost a lot of weight. I'm looking better. My clothes are fitting nicer. There are obviously tests the universe will give you to see if you are ready to make it to that next chapter in your life, but those tests are tested with you at random times to see if you can overcome that little inconvenience if you're going to go back to your past or use the knowledge you've learned today and move forward. It doesn't have to be a literal voice saying, hey, go do this, go do this. Nah, that might be something else. But that feeling of, okay, I should do this or I shouldn't do this. I know this is wrong. I know this is right. I know this is going to be awesome. I know this is going to be scary. Don't do this. Yes, do this. That is what I'm talking about. That is God. That is you. That is your soul telling you what's right from wrong and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And you should not ignore it. Please do not ignore it and make the correct decisions. just because I listened to what my body was saying, I listened to what my thoughts were saying, I got a good result. That is a reward the universe gives you for listening to that little voice. I was like, wow, this shit actually works. This is not just some myth or some bullshit some guys telling me online, you know? And that's pretty much it. This is going to be another short video. I appreciate you guys for watching. I love you. Take care of yourself. If you guys have any questions, leave it down below. Make sure to subscribe and comment and like. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for 42 subscribers. You guys are the best. Have a good day.